Yo, this is Juwan Hakeem here with the Minds with Hakeem podcast, sharing an Iowa-based nonprofit, Jonathan House International. We have JHI's director with us today, here to share their mission statement.
Our mission statement at JHI is walking with communities to bring spiritual and physical transformation.
Now, tell us a little bit more about what you guys do at JHI.
At JHI, we support international missions being led by local people. We support them through their operations, spiritual development, and economic development projects.
Now, how can the Minds with Hakeem community support you guys and stand behind you?
There's a few different ways to get involved. You can become a sponsor either of a child, support one of our leaders working in different countries, volunteer with us, really anything that you feel like you have a gift to give. We want to receive it and we want to help others with that.
Now, tell us how the Minds with Hakeem community can financially support JHI.
Even starting with as little as $5 makes a huge impact on our organization and those that we sponsor. Every little bit helps, and we just want to invite you to walk with us as we walk with communities.
Nice. Now, last but not least, tell us where we can locate you guys and how can we get in contact with y'all.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and our website at jonathansHouseINTL.org.
Welcome back to another episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast. It's your host, Juwan Hakeem, coming back to y'all with kind of a study session today. So what this interview is going to look like, or this episode, should I say, is we're going to recap from season 1, episode 10, where my brother and friend Ian Warner came and broke down habits and how to ensure healthy habits so you can become successful. I was listening to this interview this week and it just inspired me and got me back on track, because I've been in the midst of a lot of things and getting away from my habits that cause good in my life. So I needed this interview to get me back in track. So I decided to break it down for you guys and gals this week on the podcast. So jump right in. Before we get in, I just want to say thank you, Ian, for coming on to the Minds with Hakeem and pointing to us like this, man. This episode was super fire. If you haven't heard it, you'll hear a couple snippets from it, and then I'll break it down. But go tune into the full episode. It's so much more in there than this. So I'm looking forward to giving y'all this. But this first segment, I just simply titled it "Cookies in Front of You." And this guy, you'll understand it more after you hear it, but this guy broke this down so precise that I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta stop putting the cookies in front of me. So you guys take a listen to Ian, and then I'll come back in and tell you what my takeaways from it was. So listen to Ian, you guys.
So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions people probably have about habits. And people think it all comes down to willpower, where it's like, I need to be able to have a cookie sitting right in front of me and be like, just don't eat the cookie and eat these vegetables.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people think that really disciplined people can see a cookie right in front of them and just not eat it. And it's like, no. What really disciplined people do is they're smart enough to know that you don't even want that cookie there in the first place.
Yeah.
Don't bring the cookie home, because you bring cookies around me, I'm gonna
It's
eat them all
done.
up. And listen, I go hard on whatever I do. So
Yeah.
you bring cookies, I'm eating the whole box.
Yeah.
You bring some gummies,
Ain't no in between.
I'm finishing it right there.
Ain't no
It's
in between.
done. It's done. Like, Emily can't understand it. Like, she can have like a Hershey chocolate bar. She can have like 2 squares, put it in the fridge, come back,
Yeah.
have another square. I'm like, no, I'm finishing it now.
And that's crazy.
And it will be done in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So what I realized was that what really disciplined people do is they put themselves in positions to succeed.
Okay.
So what that starts with is figuring out like what some of your weaknesses are and making sure you're not around them at all.
Yeah.
So for some men, for example, right? If you know you have issues with lust and like watching porn and things like that, bro, don't have a porn blocker on your phone. Have a porn blocker on your browsers and stuff like that. Make sure that you're not logged into your Instagram. Do things to make it easy for you so that it's hard to even do the thing that's going down the wrong path.
Exactly.
So that's one of the biggest things I try to help people with right off the bat, is realizing that half the battle is putting yourself in a position to succeed.
So we got to make sure we're not putting cookies in front of us if we're trying to lose weight or reach a certain body shape or figure. I thought this was a great part that Ian did. Like, he ended it by saying half the battle, is not putting things in your way that'll cause you to go merge off and get away from your goal or your habits. So like that, I think that message is really important, guys, and we can take a lot away from that, because how many times we say we don't want to do something, but we surround ourselves with it. I find myself doing that often, and that's why, like I said, listening to this interview this week was needed for me. Like, this is a gem, a diamond in the rough. So just make sure you guys are setting yourself up for success, and it's half the battle. Like, don't be around the things that you want to get out. Like, that's the easiest way to get away from it. And I asked him the question as so if it was a willpower or like you can fight it off. No, you can't. We got to understand, as humans, we are weak to things that we want. So half the battle was setting it up. So I appreciate Ian for that one. Like, like that right there. How many of us are setting ourselves up for success? How many of us are not putting those cookies in our face? So this week, keep them cookies out your plate. Leading into this next one, Ian just kind of covers what's important, the importance of starting small. Like, we get carried away. We got big goal, big admirations, and he just really fine-tuned us back to starting small. Only way you get big if you start small. So take a listen to this clip, and then we'll be right back to unpack it with you guys.
The best thing you can do is start small. So with working out, for example, right? You have been playing basketball for a lot of your life.
Yeah.
So working out and basketball habits are very easy. You can go to the gym and put in 2 hours of work on the court, right?
Yeah.
But if I do that, my knees are gonna hurt. So what I need to do is start small.
Build that endurance.
2 minutes of playing some basketball, 5 minutes of playing some basketball. One of the simpler ways for just general people just wanting to start working out, start by doing a push-up. Just do one push-up, and then that's your workout. Wow. And to some people, it's like, well, it's a waste of time because, like, what's the point of that? But it's like, no, by doing one push-up, you're getting yourself in the routine of showing up for your workout every day. Yeah. When you do that for a week, now let's do 5 push-ups. Now let's do 10 push-ups. Now let's go run for 5 minutes. Yeah. Now let's go run for 10 minutes, and then do 100 push-ups. And you just keep ramping it up and ramping it up. Before you know it, you'll be doing 2-hour workouts, and you'll be into it, and you'll be enjoying it, and your body won't have to go through being extremely sore, because that's the other thing that deters people. You're like, oh, I'm gonna work out. You go in the gym, bench press. Next day,
my chest,
your chest,
my knees.
You can't walk, you can't do anything, and then you have to rest, and that gets you out of the routine. Then you lose. So that's one of the biggest things. Combining starting small with changing your circle of who you're hanging around, that will do it.
That'll put you in the right position. Wow, we forget so often to start small. Like, I think in this social media world, we have this clinging to instant gratification. Or I want to be the next big thing now. Or I want to do that now. And Ian clearly points to us as tying in both. Changing your surroundings, and then also starting from the ground up. I think so many times we get caught up and we want to start at the top. No, you don't start from the top. You start from the bottom, just like anything in life. It's important for us to understand the importance of starting small. Like, take your time. Good things take time. If you truly believe in what you're doing and what you got going forward, just know it'll take a little time. And Ian paints a beautiful picture in his basketball analogy. When you start, or exercise analogy, should I say, how starting small, working out in smaller increments, and then building up to that longer workout, it can happen. It's just like anything you do in life. Like, if you want to get up earlier, you want to start, you're just not going to start waking up at 3 a.m. the next day. No, you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. probably for a week, or you're going to wake up at 5:30 for the next 2 weeks, or whatever it is to get to that 3 a.m. The body, the mind don't just work like that starting from the top. So let's not lose value in that. I think he painted a great picture there. To keep us hungry, keep us working. Don't let the instant gratification tear us down and make us shy away from what we're doing. We're stronger. We're better than that. We're able to grind and put that work in. I think that's the beauty about starting something new, that you don't start at the top and you put the work in. And I don't know. I just really have a value in seeing my hands or my brain or anything on something that started from the ground up, and I help pull it up with the strength of a team like that. To me, that gets me going, and I look forward to that. So let's not forget the importance of starting small in whatever we're doing. We could be doing anything. Start small, even if you're already at the top. Get back to what you was doing at the lower level. You'll probably continue to go up. So let's not lose that. Let's not lose the importance of that. Let's keep that fresh on the brain for this week. So check this out. I know buying a home for the first time can be a very stressful process. But that's why it's good to give it a good lender like my buddy Jared Nicholson from Key Mortgage Group. He's so active to educate his borrowers and also let people be aware of their blind spots. This is a good man to make your lifetime lender, to make your process super stress-free, and don't be turned off by the housing process. You can follow him and find him at jnhomeloan.com. So let me spell that out for you. jnhomeloan.com. So tap in with him. Jared NMLS number is 1969744. I repeat that. 1969744. Leading into our last and final segment that we wanted to re-unpack from Ian is he basically walked us through like having a 10-year mindset. And I think this was a game changer for me because he was the first person I heard that from. And now I hear it often in the realm that I try to be in and the education that I try to be in. So it was a great first time, and something I'll always remember is don't start anything if you can't do it for 10 years. And also he hit on just being aware of your habits. Like, you only know what your habits are unless you run from them. Like, no one can call you out and be like, hey, you're not hitting your habits, because only you know. And just being aware of your positive habits and your negative habits, because we all have both of them, should I say. And he hit on the importance of that. So take a listen to Ian, and I'll be right back with you after you guys listen to him.
To think of it like, and also, if someone's watching this thinking, well, I don't have habits. Everyone has habits.
Yes.
It's just a question of whether you're aware of them or not.
Yes.
And one simple example of that is like, if you're waiting in a doctor's office, right? Some people, anytime they're waiting, pull out their phone.
That uncomfortable time.
So yeah, you don't want to be alone.
Some gotta have their attention.
They gotta have their attention on something. So one thing you can do is say, okay, well, I'm gonna pull up my phone anyways. I'm gonna go on Kindle and I'm gonna read a book. So that's a way of taking something you already do and adding a positive
baby
spin
steps.
on it. Yes.
Baby steps.
Exactly, baby steps. But positive habits, right?
Yeah.
They're painful today, and the reward comes tomorrow.
It's astronomical, bro.
But negative habits, they're really
pleasurable.
Yes.
In the moment.
The moment,
you love it.
So tasty.
You love it.
You get that donut, bro. Oh my gosh! In the moment, you're like, yes. But then when that diabetes come though,
and now you got to deal with that, and now you got to live in that.
Exactly. And so you have to a lot of people don't feel their negative habits, and then all of a sudden they come on you with health problems, marriage problems, like all of these things that you haven't tended to.
It started as a habit, bro.
It started as a habit. It started as something you speak to your wife in a certain way, and you build on that year after year after year after year.
You just get better. Like, if it's a positive way you speak it to your wife, you just get better and better. If it's a negative way,
it gets worse.
You get worse and worse, bro. And it causes domestic violence and other things that gets worse. But it's a small habit you don't even notice that got you that reward or got you that punishment.
There we go. So where I'm going with all that though is when you think with a 10-year mindset, you're always thinking, okay, where do I want to be in 10 years? It's way easier to stick to positive things.
Yes.
Right? Like, if you think about working on this for 10 years, that's going to move you in a positive direction. And even if it's not like, maybe this doesn't blow up the way you want, but it's still going to lead to other opportunities. You're going to meet a ton of
Access.
people, and it's going to change your life if you stick with it.
Yes.
But negative habits, if you think about, okay, I'm going to eat this thing. What if I eat stuff like this all the time? What's that going to do to my life in 10 years? Oh, I'm going to gain weight. Am I going to be happy with that? No. So maybe I shouldn't do this. And that's not to say that you can never enjoy life, right? Like, I like cookies, I like all that stuff, but it helps you to keep it tame.
Keep it tame.
Keep it under control. Yeah. Because the thing I always say to people is, it's not about what you do 10% of the time. It's about what you do 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So you can eat ice cream. You can have the ice cream 10% of the time. No problem. There's people who are super fit.
The other 90, what you doing?
90% of the time is if you eat vegetables, you eat good food. You do it 90% of the time, you're going to be all right.
You're going to hit that target. Yes, because good answer. Like, it is super important for us to be aware of our habits. Like, oh man, this is huge. This is why you constantly have to do self evaluation, so you know that your checking boxes are leading to that goal. These habits are set up for goals you have in place, and I think it's day and night. If the habit you're doing isn't set up with your goal, isn't pushing towards your goal, you have to realize that and get rid of it. But it does take some self-reflecting and looking inward. From what Ian left us with on that one, I just challenge everyone to look inward. Like, look at your day-to-day grind. Are you getting up at the right times? Are you studying the things that you need to be studying? Are you hanging around the people you need to be hanging around? Evaluate yourself. Like, this is something I consistently try to do, because I don't have it figured out. I never have it figured out. So I constantly critique myself in a healthy way, to where I'm instilling these habits that'll get me closer to my goals. So Ian left us with a great thing, that saying we all have habits, and it's just a matter if we're aware of them or not. So do some it's a self-check time with that. So we appreciate you for that one, Ian. Like, it's hard looking at myself, so thanks for making me look inward, bro. And lastly, he hit on the 10-year mindset. That, to me, was a game changer. Just thinking about, is this really worth 10 years doing? And if it is, do it. If it's not, you know what your answer should be. Walk away from it. Yeah, you may have to do some things temporarily, but 10-year mindset is a game changer. So much value in things. Us humans, we hold so much value in things that we had to work for. We had to grind for. We got to get back to that, and not going an inch deep and 3 miles wide. Nah, let's go 3 miles deep into it. Let's go 10 years deep into it, in an inch wide. Like, let's branch off of that. So Ian left us with great pointers. Like I said, if you have not watched episode 10, season 1 finale of Ian, how to ensure success by creating healthy habits, please go check that out. I will link it in the description below. Also, Ian has 2 websites, Boast in Christ, and also Habit Stacker. And Habit Stacker is also on ISO or iOS. I don't know what it is. The Apple Store, App Store, Android and Apple. I'll link that below as well. So you can track your habits. You can be aware. And he also have, it's a tool that I use. He also have daily challenges in there, and journals. You can talk and write to yourself. All that good stuff to keep you locked in. You can create your own habits too, and you can be aware of. And he has a situation for positive and negative habits. So we don't just track positive habits, we track the negative ones too. And if we get X's on those, that means we're actually doing a good job. So it's a really nice app. You guys should go check that app out. It's the Habit Stacker app in the App Store. So I'll have all that link below. But yes, thanks Ian for that beautiful episode. Like I said, if you guys missed it, please go check that out. And I just want to end this one with just letting y'all know, I've been slipping on my habits. So this was the reason for this quick refresher. I think it's important that we continue to grow and reach our goals. But goals is something that's far off. Habits is something you do daily. And that's a great message to not forget. So make sure you're setting yourself up. You're not looking for instant gratification. And also you got that mindset of I'm gonna keep pushing. You gotta push through. It's a whole complete process Ian laid out for us on this episode. So you guys go out there and continue to change the world. Continue to inspire people like me. Continue to be great and continue to reach out. Guys, we looking forward to just reaching out and communicating with more and more of the Minds with Hakeem followers. So continue to reach out and be a sponsor to y'all show. It's really y'all. It's not my show, but be a sponsor to the show. And also, I'm open for ideas, discussions. Let's talk. Converse, DM me, shoot us a DM. But all in all, that wraps up another episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast. You people have a beautiful week. Hope we sent y'all out on y'all way. Peace. It's all love, y'all.